All right, we got Bruce Quinn and Sean Harvey. Welcome, both Jiu Jitsu savages. Both veterans. Happy belated Veterans Day to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bruce is a black belt, owner of EndGame BJJ in Williamstown, and Sean, purple belt and instructor over there.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you guys, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
of course.
So we'll talk some jiu-jitsu, obviously.
Yep.
And then we'll I also want to talk about your time in the military too. I've been looking forward to talking to you guys because I'm a little bit naive to just being like I barely know anybody who's been in the military, and I don't even know like kind of what it's actually like.
Is that really not that common like for younger kids? Or
I grew up in a bubble, so like I definitely you know what I mean. I just don't think
it's cool because we have very different experiences, just like MOSs and jobs and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. And duty stations, like you were in Korea, right?
Yeah, it was awesome, dude. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I want to learn all about that. Like, I guess we'll start there. What was that experience like for you guys?
Joining the military, or
joining the military, and kind of like what's the reality of it? Like
for me, it was very, very different. You gotta remember, I joined the Army in 1999. It's when I signed up. There was no conflict. There was no thing. Like it was like my drill sergeants, I remember them like talking, oh, you guys are here for college money, or it was just like it was a path for poor kids to have a future. They couldn't go to college back then.
Yeah.
And then, I came on orders to Korea. We used to like call it spring break, dude. It was fucking fun. Like, I know it's like sounds crazy. Everyone's always like, thank you for your service. But like, I can honestly say, man, like it was like I had a fun time, man. Like I had a blast. Like it was like, and I had a different MOS. Like my job was, it wasn't just men. It was men and women. So my barracks were full of men and women. So it's like a bunch of 18 to 24-year-old in shape people just drinking and fucking, and like it was awesome. Completely like honestly, like not to sound like a dirtbag, but like it was pretty fun. And like, dude, I was a fucking geek in high school, and no girls like touched my penis. So like, it was cool, man. Like I got in shape, and like I loved the Army, man. I was good at it. Like I had a blast.
Yeah. What does MOS mean?
I'll be honest, I don't know. But it's your job.
It's your job.
I don't know what the acronym is, but it's your job.
Military Operational Services. We could say that.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true.
That.
I just shot that shit against the wall. So.
But yeah, man, it's I loved it though. Like I had so much fun. I learned some cool shit, and then I was like a punk rock kid, dude. I was a drunk. I didn't play sport. I never played sport in my entire life. Really? I was like the malnourished kid in basic. Like I gained 30 pounds in basic training.
Really?
Yeah, because like.
And are you running it like a ton?
Dude, you're running a ton. Dude, I was just like, we were like, dude, when I tell you we were poor, like we were just poor, but you don't even realize it because everyone's poor. All your buddies. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I gained 30 pounds. It was cool, man. I got in shape. Like I loved everything about the military, man. It was great for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to hear that. Like you never know. You never know how people's experiences are.
I joined in 2010. From 2010 to 2013, I went for the obvious. It's so cliche. Like I had a high school sweetheart. We broke up. She went away to college, and I was like, damn, I'm not doing nothing but working at a grocery store. So I was like, fuck it. Like, can't do that for the rest of my life. So I joined the Army, went in as infantry, really because that's the only option I had. Because I did not do well on the standardized test. And I forget what you call it off the top of my head. ASVAB. Yeah, I did poor on that. So joined infantry. I was like 110 pounds when I joined. Dude, like
really?
Infantry.
What age were you?
I was like 21, 22 maybe. So I was a little older, which was cool because it was weird actually because as an older guy, like I had 18-year-olds in charge of me, and they would be like, oh, it's like my little brother Harvey and stuff like that. Like I didn't care because they looked out, but I got to go to Hawaii. That shit was nice. Beautiful weather, beautiful people. Everything was beautiful.
So you're in Hawaii, you're in Korea. Is that like where they sent you right off the bat?
Well, I think it just depends on what stations need what. I remember half my unit went to Europe and the other half went to Korea, like in basic training, and it was like split. And it was just kind of like, unless these people have, like, because some people have, like, obviously in their contract, if you're smart enough, you know what you're doing, you can manipulate shit like that, like kids get Hawaii or, like, I didn't know shit, dude. I didn't get a signing bonus. I didn't want to end up on heroin. So I was like, you know, get the hell out of here. That's like, it really, and like, but it's cool, like, I didn't get the signing bonuses and all that stuff, man. But like, you know, I was happy with it, man. Like, but then you get the, you know, some kids went to, you know, like just cooler places, like, I don't know, Germany or like that you would think would be cooler. So when you hear it, you're like, oh, shucks. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I guess it's what you make it, because I had a blast.
Yeah. And you joined in what, 2000 and
I left 90s? In 2000. I joined in 99. I was a junior in high school when I signed up. My mom and dad actually my mom and stepdad had to sign me up. I finished high school. I turned 18 July 29th. I left August 22nd. Like, I was like, as soon as I turned 18, I was going.
Wow. And then 2001.
And then
you were out.
No, I stayed. I was in until 2005.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 9/11 actually happened when I was in Korea, and that's like when shit changed. Like, that's when, like, I was like, wait a minute, we're not here to just like party and shit. Like, we have like a job. And it was fucking different and scary.
What was that moment like when you saw 9/11 going down?
It was crazy, dude. It was so it was 10 o'clock at night in Korea, and the girl I was like dating at the time like woke me up like, hey, America's being attacked, and you know, like, shut up, idiot. But then, like, I don't know what made me like, just like, this is fucking weird. And I turned on TV, dude, and you saw the fucking plane, and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
It's traumatizing.
Oh, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrifying. And I'll never forget, dude. I didn't even know what these words fucking meant, man. And, you know, the barracks lights were like on and off, like kind of like on a fire drill. And I just remember they kept yelling, threat con Delta, threat con Delta. I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, I had no idea, but you're like, this is serious. I know that.
Yeah.
And, dude, I just fucking ran to the motor pool, got my Humvee, and because they were just saying, like, gotta man the gates, gotta man the gates, gotta man the gates. Went to the fucking arms room, got our fucking weapons, and we just sat there for fucking 45 days straight, dude. Like, until there was like another phase in what had happened, you know what I mean? Like, just the initial, like.
So they didn't know really what the threat was, but they had you hunkering down. Like,
nobody knew shit.
From
jump. Nobody knew shit. It was just like, don't let anybody else fucking base, don't let. And it was like, if they come across, and it was like, it's fucking crazy, dude. It was the craziest shit, like, ever. Like, I can't even explain it. Wow. It was just like, one day, like, you're worried about going to fucking, you know, Itaewon to fucking party, and then it's like, oh my God, this is real. This is real.
Yeah. So we haven't been attacked since Pearl Harbor, right? Before
9/11. Well, there was like the original World Trade. That sounds weird to say original, but like the first World Trade Center bombing, where they try to do something in the basement with like a parked van or something. And I would say that was probably like the last prior to that, maybe. But I don't.
I'll be honest. I'm such an educated swine. I had no idea that even happened.
I think it was during the. I could be wrong. So if there's anybody listening and it's wrong, like, don't shoot me. I think it was during Bill Clinton's administration, and then they retaliated with like cruise missile shots to Al Qaeda bases. So when I was in Afghanistan, we didn't really even, Al Qaeda was like essentially done. We were dealing with the Taliban mostly.
Wow.
So.
When did you start?
I joined in 2010. I tried college. I dropped out like 3 times before I was like, fuck it, I got to do something. And so I did basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia as infantry. And like we were saying, like, super small, dude. It was hard. I struggled. Like, carrying rucksacks with 60 pounds on your back, rucking like 13 miles. At 110 pounds, man, that shit was brutal. So I remember specifically at graduation, the drill sergeant was like, who's going to Hawaii? So I'm like, I raised my hand, like 4 of the guys raised their hands, like, you guys are fucked. You're fucked. No. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you'll see. You're going to see real quick. So I fly to Hawaii. They're like, yo, your unit is already in process of going to Afghanistan. So you'll be there in like a month. So, like, literally 2 weeks later, I was, like, on a plane with so much shit. I'd take a civilian plane to Kuwait.
Yeah.
Or, like, take a civilian flight to, like, Germany or Ireland, then right to Kuwait to Afghanistan. And I did, like, knew nothing. Like, I was like, oh, how are we going to do this? Thankfully, my unit, like, the dudes in my platoon were cool as shit. But, man, it was a struggle. Because I was, by far, I say it all the time, the worst infantry soldier you would ever meet. Couldn't shoot to save my life. I was just fucking horrible, dude. Yeah. I was better off they should have put me in a mail room or something. Like, I was definitely like a paper pusher. Like, that's where my talents are suited. I am a paper pusher in real life. So
the next thing you know, you find yourself over there. Was there active
conflict
going on?
Yeah, we were at Kunar province, Afghanistan. So we were in the valley. So it was Fob Bostic, OP Mustang, OP Barilah. Like, a lot of these places were under contact a lot. But it sucked because it's a lot of, what would you call it, IDF, like indirect fire. So they're shooting mortars at you a lot. So it was, I remember the first time we took income, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up, must have been my second night there. I was like, oh shit, what's going on? Like, just go, you're good. We'll handle it. You'll get the next one. I was like, okay, cool. And I just went back to sleep. But,
so that was like a recurring thing, like all the time.
Yeah, the Taliban, they like to attack like super early in the morning. Every once in a while, they'll throw you like a fucking curveball and hit you at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But their ideal is like 1 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Because they don't, it's weird. They don't want to like, they want to be home almost. Like, they just not like 4 o'clock rolled around and you didn't really hear anything for a couple hours.
Wow. So like
unless you were in a very
work hours, like
unless you were in like a regular, like OP Barlaw took contact all the time, all day, every day. Purtle King took combat all day, every day. But there's definitely like times when you knew like, all right, we're good for these couple hours. And even when we worked hand in hand with the Afghan National Army, like, dude, at 4 o'clock they were done. Like, if you were in a mission, you look over, they're gone. They're like, yo, I gotta go feed my kids. Like, you guys can do all this work. You know what I mean? It got to the point where, like, they were talking about the other day on Open Mat, like, we would train those guys and then they would like, oh, it's ridiculous. We'd be training them and at 4 o'clock rolls around, like, we're done. Like, yo, we gotta prep for this mission. They're like, no, you guys do it and we'll just follow behind you. Wow. Like, oh, get the fuck out of here with that, dude. Like, it's crazy.
So break it down for me, because I'm like, I know nothing. Pretend I'm like in kindergarten. So basically, the American troops were working with the Afghanistan government to fight the Taliban?
I think that's like a macro level. Like, for us, we worked hand in hand. So I know specifically we trained the ASG, the Afghan security, or AS, I don't know. It's been a while. We trained them on how to use the mortar system. And I was saying this to Bobby Shea the other day, like, it was ridiculous because we would train these guys on how to use the mortars, and then 2 days, a week later, we're getting like precision hits on us. So we kind of realized that we were training them to turn around and show the Taliban, or they were Taliban already. And just like, it was
terrifying, dude.
It's a shit show, dude. Like,
I don't know who to trust, really.
The rooms are getting hit, the mortar pits are getting hit, like, yeah, you don't know who to trust. And as like a young infantry guy, you're like bringing up to your platoon sergeant, and he's kind of like, shit, you know, you got to do what you're told in the military.
You do need them still, right? Like,
yeah. So that's the thing. Towards the end of our tour there, because you do a year. When I was in, it was a year. I think when some other guys were there, it was like 2 years, 18 months. We started letting them handle a lot of it, and you could just see the difference. Like, they just didn't care because they knew. This is my opinion. So they knew that we were there and that they didn't have to do as much because they always knew that the American forces were going to be there to kind of like pick up the slack.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, this is all new stuff to me. Like, I've read like Jocko's book and like Tim Kennedy. You know,
yeah.
Tim Kennedy. What's your take as veterans? Like, are those guys kind of, I don't know. What's your take on guys like that?
I actually I listened to Kennedy's book on podcast. Or not on podcast, I'm sorry, audiobook. And I really liked certain aspects of it. I don't know his community. I've heard mixed things about him. I've heard a lot of things from Jocko, from like, I don't know any like personal Navy SEALs, but like just there's a lot of haters out there. But a lot of people said that some of that stuff isn't 100%. So, well, he did a great job at Brandon himself, and who am I to say one way or another? But you just hear things throughout the communities and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But Tim Kennedy's book was pretty good, and he's a great fighter. And I hear Gabe, I think, trained with him at Jocko's camp.
Yeah.
And he said Kennedy was like, that's one guy, like, if I could learn jiu-jitsu from, it'd definitely be him, too. He's an animal, yeah.
Wow. What's your take on some of those guys?
I'll be honest, man, I am the most blessed, fortunate soldier of the entire time. Like, dude, from 2000 to 2005, like, dude, I went to Korea, had a blast. Then I was stationed at Fort Detrick, Maryland, where I was United States Army Security Force Special Reaction Team. Dude, I just did SWAT. It was the easiest gig. Like, I got to do what I love for 5 years, man. I had, like, and don't get me wrong, man, you got them phone calls, like, you hear about Neary, you hear about this guy, you hear about that, and it fucking sucks, man. But as far as me personally, like, I never had to go over there. I never ducked it or anything. It's just, when I first got in, Korea was called a hardship tour. So then after you had a hardship tour because you couldn't bring your family and stuff, which isn't a big deal for an 18-year-old fucking kid, but when you're married, you got sent to a non-deployable unit. So I went and did all garrison. It was...
And what does that mean? That's
like, you're not worried about the field. You're not really worried about green stuff. You're doing your garrison. Like, so you have like your like on base job, and then you have your combat job. Like, MP is essentially mobilized infantry in the field, but you're just standard law enforcement on base.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? You're very, very different when you're like come to combat as opposed to garrison.
You know what the infantry did in garrison? We picked up people's cigarette butts.
Yeah.
We fucking mowed grasses. They call it area beautification. It was a nightmare. It was the dumbest shit ever.
Essentially, when you see the DOC vans, that's what infantry is.
Yeah. Like, they'll have us like sometimes at the fucking chow hall counting people down and stuff. It's just like, they're like, just stay busy.
Work, yeah.
Where it's like, dude, like, let me go to the gym. You know, let me do whatever. Let me go, like, what's the point of me sitting in this room for 6 hours not doing anything but twiddling my thumbs?
Yeah.
Let me go do something. So, some serious lacking going on there.
Yeah. Did you guys meet each other through that? Or
No.
I Jiu Jitsu.
Met Sean from EndGame.
Yeah. It's funny. I started Jiu Jitsu. The guy did a little bit. Army combatives wasn't really a thing when you were in, right?
No. It was just starting when I got out.
Yeah. So I did a little bit of Army combatives in the Army. Then my platoon sergeant was like a lead instructor for it. So he could like level 1, level 2. So I did those 2 levels in Afghanistan. And level 1 sucked, dude, because you had to do a clinch drill. And I realized I did not like getting punched in the face. So the dudes are swinging on you and like body headshots, and I have no head movement whatsoever. So I was just getting eaten alive, dude. It sucked. But, you know, I went through that. That's my first introduction to jiu-jitsu. I joined another gym when I got back here after talking to Nick Lawson, actually. He's the one who kind of was like, yo, you should do it. I won't say the gym's name, but it was not a fun experience. It just wasn't what I was looking for. So I had reached out to Bruce, and I was like, hey, you know, like, I'm training over here. I would like to get these no-gi rounds, and we weren't doing no-gi at my old school. And then through talking, he found out that I was military, and then we kind of like bonded over that. And then I eventually joined EndGame, and I've been there ever since. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else, honestly. Well, Webb's is good, you know, but we're teammates, so it's all straight.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. How many years ago was that, Sean?
I joined, like, I'm horrible with dates, but I must have joined, like, right when they opened the gyms back up from COVID.
Okay.
So I got my blue belt in, like, 8 to 10 months. And then a couple years later, that's when I got the purple belt under Bruce.
That's sweet.
So, yeah.
What was your introduction to jiu-jitsu?
So, all right. So I started boxing first, and I was going to a gym in Camden. It was cool. Like, I love boxing. I love the sport of boxing. But I was they were like, I was getting mangled, man. I was getting mangled. Like, I was 22, 23 years old, just like. Like, I don't know, I lifted, like, I didn't know how to, like, I didn't know anything about fitness and stuff. Like, I guess, like, I lifted weights and I was young, so I was, like, in shape and strong. But it was just, like, you can only get your fucking ass whipped so many times till you're like, dude, I'm done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I'm not learning, and this is brutal. But, I mean, you do learn, but it was like, all right, I'm sick of being a punching bag.
Yeah, because it's probably a long road, and you're gonna get punched in the face
and,
the whole way.
So much harder than jiu-jitsu.
And it was just because there's impact, but I wanted to fight, and because when I was real young, I got bullied a lot and shit, and then like, you know, I got into like punk rock and hardcore, and I always wanted to be tough. Like, I always wanted to be the tough guy. I just always like, I seen these guys at the shows, and like, I just like I wanted that, you know. I thought they were fucking cool. I know it sounds so stupid as a 42-year-old man, but when you're a kid, like, that shit like holds weight.
Right.
And so I always wanted to be able to fight. I always wanted to learn how to fight, and I always wanted to be like that guy. And then you know, the boxing, like, I learned some shit. I actually have 7 boxing matches. It was not easy. You know,
amateur boxing?
Yeah,
That's sweet.
Yeah.
no knockouts, right? Like you can't knock out an Ami.
You go. They'll stop an Ami match real quick. If your head whips back, they'll teak it. They'll stop it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. It's actually far more, because there's a sanctioning body. It's far more organized than like MMA is right now for amateur.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it's got. I mean, it's an old traditional sport. It's got a sanctioning body. Like, you know, they don't really play. Like, there's like I remember, like if you have a 5 o'clock shot, you got to shave. Like they don't play at all. Like,
yeah,
they're like
boxing.
Yeah, they're on top of shit.
That's wild.
But and then so I ended up like leaving that. But like, I remember when I was in the Army, I got in shape and I was like, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna box. I just thought it was the coolest. And then when like I didn't do it, I was like sad, dude. I was like, I'm a pathetic human being. I quit. Like I went out in a funk and whatever. There was other shit going on, but like it was not a great time. And then
how old were you about?
Like 23, 22, 23.
Yeah. And real quick, put this puppy right up to your.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry,
it's like invasive.
I like you want to breathe on it, and you'd be like, "God damn, they're breathing it so much." Like,
yeah. You just hear, yeah,
Darth Vader.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then I was an iron worker then, because I got out of the Army and did some shit and then became an iron worker or whatever. And my buddy told me about another gym that did MMA. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I'll fucking, I'll fight, like whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to see if I could do it. You know what I mean? Because like after getting picked on and shit your whole life, then you like, then I got in the Army and then I got into shape. And then I'll be honest, I became like a douche. Like I was looking for confrontation. I was like, you became a douche. I became a douche, like 100%. Like I was bigger, got attention from girls. Like I was in shape, so like I could defend myself. Yeah. And I became a douchebag, 100%. But then like I was like, I want to see, and then I went over to that gym, and it was awesome, man. I got to meet like a lot of the guys I currently train with now. Eventually left that gym too and joined us. So I don't regret it at all, man, and at the end of the day, the guy isn't my kind of guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but everybody that did come out of there is like decent. So he did do something right. He was just a fucking head case.
Wow.
Which happens. I mean, I'm a fucking head case. So, but anyway, and then so I went over to LA Boxing at the time, and that's where I met Jonathan, and he was a purple belt at the time. And he was still I don't even know if he had his first Ami fight.
Oh, wow.
And I started training with him, dude, and we were just doing Tuesdays and Wednesdays. It was me, Jonathan, this girl Sophia, her little brother, and her little sister, Tara, and Marcel. And then this other place, Liberty Boxing, had just shut down. And that's when like Uriah and Miguel and all them guys came over, and Dave String. And that's essentially what started Web. And I remember like because I don't know, it's fucked up because like Ryan was nothing but cool to us, but like we were proud of our like our little jiu-jitsu team. It was just Jonathan and us. So we got like Web like hoodies made and Web t-shirts made. It was like a weird design. It was like a sumo guy triangle on a dragon. Didn't make any sense because John wasn't like fat. He's like 170 pounds. So it didn't make any sense, but it was cool. But and I was like when we all started training together, and then man, like John just started taking fight after fight and like blowing up, and like right in front of us, dude, it was the coolest fucking thing ever, man. And like, the next thing you know, it's like, dude, he got pulled up, and you're like, holy fuck, it's like real. This is really happening. And I remember a couple of us got together, and like, we even told him, like, dude, like, we know you're only sticking around here for us. Like, please, like, dude, chase your fucking dream, man. And then like, he never really like bailed on us, ever, man. Like he, don't get me wrong, like he, obviously when he had to do his camps and all, like, but at this point we're all like relatively senior belts anyway, purples, browns. And so we would cover down and he would go out and train with Cowboy and then like, dude, and it just kept going and going. And then now he's coaching and he's got these UFC. It's just the coolest fucking thing ever, man. I'm so proud of him, so happy for him.
Yeah,
it all stems from there.
Yeah, and it's just like the coolest thing, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Kevin Danzler.
Yeah, I mean, dude, seriously, when I met Kevin, dude, he was like a child in high school.
Yeah, he said he started training when he was like,
it's funny about Kev is I was talking to him one of the last times I rolled with him, and he was like, man, I remember when Bruce used to beat the shit out of me on a daily basis. And this was like right after Kev like subbed you like 7 times in a round.
I still will text Kev every now and go, don't forget I used to fuck you up. Like just to remind him.
That's
So if
so
I can
good.
survive like 90 seconds
Dude,
with
he's an
him,
animal.
then I'm like, that's a victory. It's like a
Yeah.
moral victory for the day. But
That's my dude, though, man. I love that kid, man. And now he's got 2 beautiful daughters, a beautiful wife. He's like killing it, dude. It's amazing.
Wife trains. Yep.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
oh,
crazy.
dude, she's like a phenom in herself.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
she just did the European IBJJF like 4 or 5 months after giving birth. Like
Yeah,
that's
no,
like
wow.
unheard of. That's
Yeah, that is
amazing.
Yeah, they're like, it's just cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just awesome to see.
So you mentioned that you were a douche at one point in time.
The douche.
The douche.
He's very open about it too, which is like the funniest thing.
So like it's interesting. Like when you kind of learn a martial art, you can either maybe you go in journeys, but like you can either use that for kind of good. You can get back at the bullies who picked on you and kind of have a chip on it and want to prove something, or it's like I don't even want to fight anymore. Like you know what I mean? It can kind of go, I think, either way.
So it definitely like, and listen, I'm not gonna lie, like I was a fucking idiot. The only reason I stopped getting in bar fights and being a fucking douchebag is because my wife got pregnant. I don't know. I'm an idiot. It's just who I am, dude. Like me and my friends, like I don't. It's still to this day. It's just like it's stupid. It's stupid, but it's fun. But like I don't.
Where did you grow up, by the way?
Malaga, dude. I'm not a city kid. I'm not tough. I'm just a fucking poor white trash kid from Malaga, man. But
We're very opposites. Last time I got punched outside of like a martial arts type thing, I was saying like we were drinking in the woods and we're like, hey, let's bare knuckle box. Punch me in the nose. I fell down. Like I almost hit my head on a cement rock. Like, this is stupid. You know?
to be clear,
we were in high
that's
school, but-
insane. That's a bad idea. Like I'm not talking like that. Like, and especially in the jiu-jitsu community, you always hear like, so-and-so's got beef with this guy. How do you think it's going to end? It's like, it's not going to be like this
Honorable.
like kumite.
You're gonna bow before you.
Like, yeah, it's just really dumb.
Was
Like,
it
it's
fisticuffs and
hopefully they
shit?
settle it like before anything happens. But like, I don't understand that. Like, people just think. Like, I don't know what the fuck they think. To be honest, like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you gotten in fights like in like friendly fire, if you will, like in not in combat obviously, but like with your guys in the military? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure. Yeah.
Stuff pops off, and next thing you know,
yeah.
I think that's like almost bonding when you're in the platoon. You spending like all day with these people, especially when you're deployed. It's all day, every day. Like you're bound to fucking tell somebody like, you gotta shut the fuck up. And you're living in like there might be 8 guys in this room living together. So now you're talking like grown men.
yeah.
They got they got their jack shacks. If you cough wrong and somebody's doing something, they're like yelling at you. It's just. It has to happen. There's just it's a lot of testosterone. It's a lot of boredom. You're just looking to do something.
Remember, you're 18
Yeah.
to 20, early 20s. Like, you're going out to the bars. There's girls. There's posturing. There's a lot of like, and just like jiu-jitsu, I think the reason you're so close with your jiu-jitsu friends is because you fight each other. You let it out. You get it out. You get gritty. You go to a different place with this person that you would with normal humans in society. And I think that's the same thing with soldiering. Like, you're going to, like, listen, man, like, these people that you're willing to, like, die for, you're willing to fucking kill, too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's a lot of similarities between the two communities in that
the communities are
aspect.
very
Like, get very, you know what I mean? You just grow this bond. Like we beat the shit out of each other on a regular basis. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that. Like we've given each other black eyes. We've
Like, you need
definitely fucked each other up.
part of
And
the game.
I think you gave me a black eye one time too.
I
If I'm
really?
being honest, I think so. You were Brandon. Fucking
like, not everybody
long-ass
has to be
motherfuckers.
that training partner, but you gotta have that training partner that, like, you don't have to be nice to.
Yeah.
Like for me, I got Sean and I got Professor J. Like, me and Jay have been trained together, I don't know, like literally like 17 years now. We fucking go, man. Like, and he's another old dude. He's actually older than me. Beast too. He's like 47.
Yeah.
But like it's our, like, listen, I'm an old man. And I'm sure in my head it looks like this epic battle, and it's like, but like, in my old ass mind, we're getting after it.
Yeah.
And that's like, and you need them roles, man. Like, I seen too many people with legit talent. They get on that weird tip where they get their purple belt, then they get their brown belt. And now all of a sudden they don't want to roll hard because they're scared to lose or have too hard of a match with a lower belt. And then you see this talent become a fucking pussy. and just avoid hard rolls. I'm only rolling light today. Hey, even though you're strangling me, let me clean you up. And you start to see all this bullshit. And it sucks because a lot of these people have so much fucking talent if they would just check their ego. And see, for me, it's real easy, dude. I'm 5'5", 145 pounds. I'm supposed to get my ass whipped, no matter what. Like, it makes it a lot easier to, like, fucking lose.
Yeah.
You know, but some people, it's really, really fucking hard for them to, like, get caught by a lower belt or get, and I guess, you know, like, you know, I'm kind of full of shit. It wasn't easy at first. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't know, man. It's either fucking you deal with it or you fucking quit because age happens, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of attributes that play a factor.
Yeah.
There've been white belts, dude. They smash me, dude. There's just is what it is.
And
you
it's
know?
growing in popularity. You got athletes now. Like,
We had he moved to Florida. We had like an NFL player at the gym for a minute.
Yeah, literally, dude. He was on the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you know, he made the practice squad eventually. Now I think he's coaching a college team down.
Yeah.
And dude was a fucking one stripe blue belt and he was fucking everybody up. Yeah. But like, dude, when I talk about like explosive strength, like scary, dude. Like,
That's world class. If you're in the NFL, you're
You're a
different
world class
animal,
yeah,
man. Like
he probably no problem beating routinely black belts and stuff like
Effortless,
that.
you know, like-
it's just that's why
wrestling backgrounds, you know?
no, just
I
football.
don't even think you needed that explosiveness of football.
And he's just, but like
strength.
some guys, man, just have it. Like it just makes sense to some people. Like, you know, J-Rod. Like, I mean, what's he? He's got less than a decade, right?
I think he just got
He's
his.
got like 5 years, probably.
I think he just got his.
I don't know
purple
exactly.
belt or brown belt or something
You know
like
about
that.
Nicky Rod, the big dude? Or?
No,
No,
it's
Jay- he's
little
little
Oh,
brother.
J-Rod. Okay, yeah.
You know, like when you're bigger, a lot of these big dudes like catch flack. Oh, he's big. And I'm like, but like, dude, what can you say about someone like J-Rod? Dude, he's a fucking 170 pounds. The kid's an animal.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
You know what I mean?
And I went to his seminar one time. Man, if you talk about like a young, he knows how to control the room. A very good instructor for when I went to his seminar. It's very hard, I think.
To be clear, Nicky Rod's not that. He's very good. He's very, very, very fucking good.
richest.
But when people see a big guy, they immediately throw an asterisk to his abilities. You know, and you just can't do that with smaller weight class guys that are fucking doing it.
Yeah. Nicky Rod versus Gordon Ryan. How do you see that playing out? If they, I assume they're gonna go at it again.
I don't think Gordon will ever play that game again with him. I think Nicky Rod is too good. I think he's just too good. He almost had him a couple times in the last match. I just don't. I don't see
You
it.
don't think Gordon Ryan
But
risks it again? You think he's just?
I think Gordon Ryan's very intelligent. Like we've seen his instructional videos, man. He's so good. But he's also like, he's a market guy. He's smart. He's very good at marketing himself. He doesn't want to lose. Not that he would lose, but why risk it when you're already at the top of the food chain? You know, let them guys kind of come to you. I wouldn't be chasing opponents if I was getting millions of dollars off instructionals and one-off matches. So
they would make a team.
Well, with
be
the
a great
growth
match.
of jiu-jitsu, though, someone's going to pay them to do it.
right. That's not.
I mean, like, it's going to happen. It's got to happen. Like, someone will pay the money, you know, and I don't know. It's going to be cool. I mean, dude, when it comes to that level of black belt jiu-jitsu, dude, like that level, dude, I'm just a fan. If I even gave you a professional opinion, like, dude, the things that I see, like, I look at jiu-jitsu very different than their brilliant minds, dude. Nicky Rod and fucking Gordon are just, they're special. They're special the way their brains work with this shit, man. Like, I would love to tell you, like, the intricacies of why this one could, but I'm just not as smart as them, and I have no fucking clue. I'm just a fan. And I hope I get to watch it again.
Did you watch CJI?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That
amazing.
Tackett, Rotella.
So
Dude,
that was so cool.
That was the best match I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Ugh.
Tackett versus who?
Rotolo.
Okay. Yeah.
Tackett's just
Nuts.
Cage is
motherfucker.
my
Dude,
favorite
the
fighter
pace.
right now, too. Did
The
you watch
pace
him
is
last
like
Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he fucking
63 seconds.
Yeah. Dropped a guy, like, and then Darst. Like, it was just amazing.
that-
He's amazing,
Yeah, they're
dude.
special.
It's only a matter of time before that dude's world champion.
Oh, yeah.
At one, then he'll switch over probably if he's allowed to UFC and
Yeah.
he'll do the thing. Yeah.
And he's just fun. He's fun. That's the best part. He's entertaining.
He's all
Like,
go.
for jiu-jitsu, like, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, and I love jiu-jitsu. Some matches can be fucking boring. But Cade and
A lot.
he just and his brother Ty, they just make it so fun, man. They add such a special thing to this sport. They're just gonna change it forever. It's amazing.
It's very cool to see. We were talking about it because his son did ADCC, and the growth of ADCC with the kids is wild, dude. They're so good.
Oh yeah,
dude. There's like
I thought my kid was good until this weekend.
There's like 10-year-old kids. There are 10-year-old kids that are these things that would beat the shit out of all three of us. Like probably back to back. They're just so good.
Well, dude, so last time we did ADCC, it was 7 and 8 year olds. This year, obviously, he had a birthday. Kids continue to grow. It was 9 and 10. Bro, the difference between the 10-year-olds and the 8-year-olds, astronomical.
Wow.
But that's what it's about, man. That's why I want to keep them doing it. And that's why, dude. But when you see these kids, man, they're animals, dude. They're so good.
Are they getting versed on leg locks and heel hooks and stuff like that? I guess, dude, they probably can't heel hook at that age, right?
No,
they're not allowed to do lower body submissions. But
is that why they're so good at this age? It's just more attacks.
I think a lot of it too is
so well rounded.
Yeah, they're so well rounded, and a lot of these kids who are so good, they're homeschooled, so they're able to travel, they're able to competition, and competition's a big thing when you're wanting to reach certain levels. You got to compete a lot to hit that, break that glass ceiling essentially. But for the kids in the leg locks, like Riot, Coach Laurie's son, like they know how to do them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We show them, but they just. If you're not actively applying and fighting it, there's just not enough of the advanced kids to do it and to learn them and to get good at them, because training's your fight. You know what I mean? You can show stuff, but it's tough, man. It's scary, dude, because you got kids tearing ACLs.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't need an 8-year-old ripping a heel hook on another 8-year-old. It's a hobbyist.
But I tell you, the coach that figures that out is gonna be fucking well ahead of everyone else.
I bet Danaher's got a secret squad of
I'm sure
little young
like
guys.
Alpha Miami. Them dudes are animals.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised if Dante's got some little animals doing heel hooks. There's a handful of elite kids coaches, man. And we see, if you give a shit enough, you're part of that community and you have kids that do it. You watch these kids compete from these special teams, man. It's incredible, man. I try to learn as much as I can from these coaches because holy shit.
It's interesting. His son started really young. My son Aiden started a couple years ago, and it's just really cool to see your own child in the sport that you love grow. So I'm gonna get Haley in there soon. It's just very cool to see. Now my son's hitting the neon belly to the arm bar to the neon belly to the mount to the arm bar, and he just started picking it up. So Friday night he was just landing it left and right, and I was like, oh yes, it's super cool to see, especially with the my class being the turtles. It's 3 to 7 year olds, so you get a 3-year-old in there who's they're young, they're scared. It's nerve wracking to go, and they don't want to get beat up, and then you're told. Excuse me, at home, hey, don't fight. And then you come to jiu-jitsu class and hey, you're allowed to now tackle your brother and sister. So it's really cool. I have 2 athletes, a brother and a sister, and the sister, Addie, and I got permission to talk about this from her mom, just because I wanted to if it came up, I wanted to bring it up. But she was getting bullied at school, pretty bad. And her mom would come in and she'd be like, listen, the boys at school pinned her down on recess and we're messing with her. To see, this was actually one of my proudest moments in jiu-jitsu altogether, was she came in and she was really shy at first, really timid, and then she got more comfortable. Now she's super social. She's really all about it. She's going home watching videos of jiu-jitsu. Signed her up for a tournament. She got her first match. She got her first win. She rose her hand up. Dude, she's so happy. And then her mom messaged me. She was like, it was the next day. She was like, Addie couldn't go to sleep because she was so excited that she won that match. She was and the best part of it was she was Addie had said none of the boys are going to mess with me anymore.
That's awesome.
And then right then and there, I was like, dude, I could just wash my hands. If I never step foot in a coaching position or jiu-jitsu again, I'm good. Because I know that jiu-jitsu affected her so much that she's gained that confidence. And to me, that's the best part. Seeing my son, when he won double gold at Battle at the Beach the one year, that was awesome because he had wars. He had to really dig deep to get those wins. And those 2 are the coolest moments for jiu-jitsu for me.
That's so awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Hands down, yeah. Wow. So and Addie she'll go through the ranks. When she goes to your class, Aiden's progressed so much going into the older kids class. He's still grossly outsized, but you see the big development from our gym, from turtles to foot soldiers, when they get under,
Oh yeah, it's cool.
you know,
man.
Bruce and Coach Laurie, and then we start really developing their game. It's just, that's the coolest thing about jiu-jitsu, is seeing the kids progress so much.
Come out of their shells too. Like, it just teaches you a lot.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's
you know,
awesome.
you face adversity every day. You know, like, you're getting in there, you're getting your ass beat, day in and day out. Like, it's hard to come back to. There's, like we were just saying, coming in at 6 a.m., it's like, it's rough. So imagine going to school all day, and then, you know, you got to go home, you got to fucking change, you got to get clean, you got to go to jiu-jitsu for an hour, you got to go back home, you got to get cleaned again, you got to do your homework. Like, it's rough, man. So, like, I give those kids a lot of credit, because, man, when I was, like, I didn't do sports growing up. Dude. I was like a junkie. So, like, I didn't do shit. Like,
And some kids just have habitually bad days, and they come in and they keep coming and they keep coming. And then it's cool because then, like, you see them finally start to learn, and then their days aren't so bad, and then they start to step up as little leaders. And it's like, man, like, shit is fucking cool, man. Like, it instills this confidence. Like, my favorite thing in the world, like, I help with my kids' wrestling team a lot. And every now and again, dude, you get one of these kids that it's hard. Wrestling's a hard sport, man. And you can just see, like, it's just overwhelming them. And I tell them, like, guys, come to jiu-jitsu, like, learn, and, you know, and you get some of them kids, and then they do it. And some of them never go back to wrestling. But some of them, like, they start to do jiu-jitsu, and then they start to get a little more comfortable in the mats, and then they're going back to wrestling, and then and it's, like, the coolest thing, man. Like, and that's what I do it for, man. Like, that, not what I do it for, my favorite thing, though. Like, just seeing these kids build, like I said, dude, I was bullied and shit. I was picked on, like, so to see these kids be able to, like, get this confidence and shit, it's the coolest thing in the world.
yeah,
It's unreal.
It is, I think, the best thing, I'm sure you feel the same way, to put our kids in that. You know what I mean? Even, like, my daughter's 3, Aiden started when he was 4. My daughter she'll do the warm-ups, and then she's off playing in the playroom. And I'm like, what? I just, like, as long as she's on the mat, like, that's the important thing when they're that young. Like, I tell the parents, like, I always try to make it a point that when I'm done class, I don't go and I don't line up right away. For the adult class, I go and I'll talk to some of the families, like, hey, you know, they're doing real well today. Like, oh, you know, it was, you know, rough day, and things like that. I want to grow that rapport with the parents, because it's important, you know, like, that they know that, like, their coaches, like, care about them. You know what I mean?
Got a huge community.
Yeah.
Everybody cares about each other.
Yeah, and I think that's like the best thing about our gym, is that we're
The community, absolutely.
yeah, we're fairly small, but we're, man, like, there hasn't been a day where I haven't talked to somebody from EndGame, like, all day. It happens all the time. You know, I'm all day. You know, we all look out for each other. You know, if we need anything, somebody's there. Like, it's great.
Yeah, that's unreal. How do you guys navigate? Like, you guys both have kids. Was it kind of a mandatory thing, like, gonna put them in or let them find it?
Well, my daughter, so both my kids train now, but my son never stopped. My son started at 3, never stopped. He's 9. My daughter got in at, she started at like 6, did it for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then did not do it again until just recently.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, no, I'm not that, man. She's a cheerleader. She's into gymnastics. She's into fashion. She's not, like, I mean, if she wants to do jiu-jitsu, and I love it, man, I love having her, but I don't make my kids do it. It's fucking, I mean, excuse me. The boy has to train. He don't have to fucking compete, but he's got to train, you know. He's got to do something.
Yes.
And he can't play regular sport. Not that he can't. I hate this. I'm not putting my kid out, but my kid's little as shit. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's like, he's weirdly small. Like he is. He's little as shit. He's like 58 pounds and he's 9. He's just like tiny.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's not gonna fucking catch a fucking game-winning touchdown. He's not gonna fucking hit a 3-pointer. He's not gonna, you know, weight class sports are his option. So,
It's very similar to, like, my son is 6, my daughter's 3. I would like to, like, she'll start taking that. I'll probably sign up for wrestling in January at what do you call it, like a club, essentially, because she's too young to do rec. And but my son, I take it actually from Jared, right? Jared, when I asked him for, like, hey, how do you get your kids to do this stuff? He's like, they can do whatever they want to do, but they got to at least come once a week. So for Aiden, you got to do one turtle class because they're sort of his size. He's 6 and like 42 pounds, very tiny. So he's even like smaller than some of the turtles. He's got to take one of those classes and then one of the bigger kids' classes. And whatever he does outside of that, like, it's okay. I don't care if he ever competes again, but I care that he go in there and tries his hardest, because he is going to be small his whole life like I was. There's a good chance that he gets bullied. And I want him to have that confidence that he knows that if somebody like fucks with him, he's like, fuck it, let's go. And it's happened sort of where like his cousin was like really giving it to him, and he was like, nah, took him down and just controlled him. And his kid's like significantly bigger than him. So like shit like that is important to me. Like I want to be able to know that if my son is in school, he can protect himself and other people. So that's kind of how I look at it and navigate. And having a daughter, like this world is disgusting. Not that it couldn't happen at our sons, but like it's important to me that I know for sure that my daughter is well taken care of and protected. And that almost plays into my son being able to protect her too, because they're close in age. Like I would hope that they have a beautiful relationship and that they become best friends. Because at the end of the day, that's all they're gonna have.
That's what I tell Ryan all the time. Dude. I'm like, listen, man, like Sissy and Mommy ain't like us. You gotta, like, you have to be able to protect them. Like, and I know in today's world that's chauvinistic or this or that, dude. But like, I don't know, man. I want my son to be able to fucking protect his family.
Yeah, or I want my daughter to protect my son. You know what I mean? Well, either way, I don't care. I just want them to have
I want my daughter to be able to protect herself, but and I know that like is such like a like I just I don't know, man. Like I'm like my biggest fear is what if something happens to me? Who's gonna protect them? And so it's like I don't know. Yeah, you got to fucking knuckle up, little buddy.
I tell my kids, they just like any kids, man. They fight. They go at it. They go to war at home, and I'm like, listen. I know you don't like it right now, but eventually, like, mommy and daddy aren't gonna be around,
it's the
bro.
Hardest conversation ever have, dude.
It's like you gotta
putting that thought in their head
because it's like, hey, just so you know, mom and dad are gonna die, and it's like you guys gotta fucking protect each other. It's like it sucks. It's a shitty thing to have to talk to your kids about.
It's rough, man, but it's important. Like I think it's important that they do. Like if my son was like, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu anymore, I'd still want him in some kind of self-defense, whether it be wrestling or he tried MMA. Because we do an MMA program at the gym, and he got kicked in the nuts, and he was like, I'm done. He was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, all right, man, you tried. It's cool. I feel the same way. I wouldn't want to do it either. And I would, for the record, never do MMA because I don't want to get punched in the head. So
Jiu-Jitsu's MMA adjacent. It's, you still got some skills that are applicable, which is good.
It's very practical for protecting oneself.
Yeah. It's such a good message, though. I mean, especially getting the kids in early. I wish I had that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God, me too.
I wish I wrestled, but I also don't know because wrestling's hard. You know
it's different, and the people are different. Like, dude, I've seen parents be pretty fucking brutal to like kids on a mat. Like, and don't get me wrong, you see in jiu-jitsu, like, I'd be lying if you never said it, if I said you never see it, but wrestling's different, man. It's like.
The parents too.
Yeah, that's
a lot of the parents.
Like, and trust me, my kid will always wrestle because I think to do MMA and be your top level jiu-jitsu, you got to be able to do both. Like I believe it's very important. So my kid will stick with it. But man, it's a different sport. It's very, very fucking different, man. like gnarly.
Yeah. I had wished, like you, that I did it earlier. And I remember I was in line in middle school to sign up for wrestling. And I swear to God, like, I saw that singlet and I was like, oh, I don't have the body for that. And I just turned around. I was like, I'm not.
The fact that that's what your mom did.
That was the deciding factor.
Ooh,
like,
my hips are going to look terrible.
Yeah, I was like, oh, man, like, I'm going to have to lose some weight. Like, I got to get the abs going. Like, that's not for me. You know, jiu-jitsu, I could keep my shirt on. And, you know, like.
Throw a rash guard on.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll wrap up with this. This has been great so far. It's awesome. I got some rapid fire questions for you. 11 questions.
Did you have them written out, or are you just flying off the top of your head?
No, I got them. Okay. Yeah. Whatever comes to your mind. All good. Number 1, we got gi or no gi.
No gi.
It's very tough for me.
He's got to be political about it.
I know. No, it's tough because I believe that the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the belt system and everything is solely based upon the gi. And I believe there's beautiful, intricate, cool shit to do with the gi. And I think it makes self-defense more practical. No gi's more fun.
Way more fun.
It's just more fun.
To piggyback off that, I love no gi. I compete mostly in no gi. I tried the gi in an IBJJF. I got subbed in like 7 seconds. I still train in the gi. It's important. If you could get like a guy who like uses the lapels and the gi and all that fun shit, then it's great. But don't no gi me in the gi, because then I will just take these pants off and let me heel hook and leg lock.
I mean, dude, there's a lot of super, super fun, beautiful, intricate jiu-jitsu done in the gi. Like, I love it. It's awesome.
Got strangled
But-
with my lapel one time.
Nobody's doing it competition-wise. And if, as a fan, and you just want to watch these high-level matches, it's much harder to get a dope gi match.
Yeah.
Because it's slower.
It's slower, and don't get me wrong, it's super fun, man, and I love it. But I tie rebar for a living, so my hands fucking hurt. So, you know,
I type all day. I can't damage these fingers. You know,
so
who's gonna write the reports?
And it's more fun. Yeah, just more fun.
Fair. I'm with you. Yeah, I don't do a ton of gi, but I probably should do more.
You definitely need to if you truly want to progress at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you have to do the gi, and I'm a firm believer in that. Like, you know, you can't be a fucking blue, purple belt if you can't fucking do a bow and arrow choke. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's just... And listen, you could fuck me up wholesale with your wrestling and fucking strangle me and cartwheel pass, blow through my guard. But, like, if you can't do a fucking bow and arrow, then you're not a fucking blue belt.
Yeah.
You know, it's that simple.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a great answer. I'm with you right there. That's good. Number 2, we got favorite submission.
Guillotine, which is going to surprise people because I do a lot of heel hooks, but I love the guillotine. It's probably my most like highly successful. That's the one I get the most with subs. Yeah. So.
I've walked into plenty of your guillotines.
Yeah. Rear naked choke. I'm small, so I always want to be on people's backs. My entire game is to get to somebody's back, and you know, it's the greatest submission of all time.
Yeah. What's your favorite tattoo?
I got my wife's butt tattooed on my leg.
I got the skulls and the alien here, and the whole alien theme sleeve with the UFO abduction. Yeah, the UFO abduction. So like I'm a nerd, dude. I love aliens and space. Well, not so much space, but aliens and UFOs.
Space.
That's my
shit. Actually seems like the most.
I don't want to know the like scientific shit about it. I just want to know the aliens.
That's fair. I like that. We'll do like a picture overlaying the video so we can tell.
Yeah,
that's sweet. What is your favorite sport outside of jiu-jitsu?
The only sport I watch is jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts. It's a huge problem in the Quinn household. It's huge. My wife is from Philadelphia. She's a Philly sports nut, and I'll be in the basement watching Dirty Dancing every Sunday and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't care. I know, like balls. I say it all the time, Quinn boys don't play with balls. Like,
that's so good.
I don't watch sports either, but I will fucking play a whole mean game of badminton.
Badminton's fun.
Yeah. Or what is that? Croquet? Oh, yeah. That's my shit. Like, so if I could see that on TV, I'll definitely sit at a
I do
bar
play golf, but I suck shit.
Golf's fun.
Golf's fun. Are you good at golf?
I'm decent.
He's probably very good, yeah.
What do you shoot?
90, 95.
That's much better than me.
But yeah, I'm not.
A 90, 95 is like, that's, I could still golf with you. Like my best friend, dude, he like shoots like an 82. It's not even fun. It's like, I'm like wasting his time. It sucks. And it sucks. He's like my favorite person, but he's just really fucking good. And it's like, dude, I shoot a 120. I'm asshole, dude. Like I'm trash.
Yeah, I'm only there for the go-kart, to be honest. I just want to be on the go-kart.
Drink some beers.
Yeah,
it's the best. It's the only other sport that I've loved as much as jiu-jitsu playing.
Yeah, that's fun.
Fucking great, dude.
What is your favorite spot to eat in South Jersey?
Franklinville Inn.
Franklinville Inn.
Yeah.
That place is really good.
It's fucking incredible, dude.
Yeah.
You will not get a better steak anywhere.
I was going to ask you, what do you get?
Yeah,
Where do you
get
go?
The steak and then get the crab on top.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I don't go out to eat that much. I'm like a diner person.
The New York strip with the crab. Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a diner person.
Really?
Yeah, I'll just eat at any diner.
Dude, you live in New Jersey. We got the best food in the world. Dude. What are you nuts?
I don't know, man. I don't really.
Too. We got some decent diners.
Yeah.
But there's
any
food,
diner in
dude.
particular?
So
food. I'm just not. You know what it is? I'm a robot, so I eat the same shit day in and day out. So like.
What about you? What's your favorite place?
Yeah. I was gonna say
Great
Applebee's,
question. That's a great question. I like probably Randazzo's in Ocean City. Okay. The house in Ocean City. My parents have a house in Ocean City.
Nice.
So I'm there in the summer. That's a sleeper choice right there. obscure place, but
hey man, it's cool.
Yeah. Who is the most famous person in your contact list?
Oh my God. Deanna Bennett.
Who's that?
She's trains over at Web. She's Invicta fighter.
Really?
On Ultimate Fighter. It's hilarious. It's a great training partner too. I love rolling
She's
with
a
her.
beast. I like
Yeah,
her.
she's a
fun.
fun roll with her.
She's fun.
But she is probably the most famous person in my contacts.
Wow.
I don't even know, honestly.
Jonathan Webb. Yeah, I was
Definitely
gonna say
John, Pat. My boy Timmy used to have his own TV show when he was like a tattoo artist, tattoo show.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't really like. That's the thing, man. Like, I'll be honest, dude. Like, I don't even like care about that fucking
Yeah, it
shit,
doesn't
dude.
matter. Who
Like,
cares?
I think it's awesome. I'm so happy for Jonathan and everybody's success and all, man. But like, I'm just not a dick rider, dude. Like, not. And I don't mean to like. I just like listen, man. Like, I'm just happy as shit for all of them, man. Like, I'm never gonna be that dude. Like, I love Pat and he's cool and all these guys are super nice, but like, I'm never gonna be that dude that pretends like, they're my best friends. Like, dude, they're cool as fuck, man. They're nice, dude. Me and fucking, if anything, I talked to Sean about tattoos more than I talked to him about MMA. You know, and but I just, I don't know, man. I'm never gonna be that dude that like sucks somebody's dick or like tries to get in their fucking graces just because they're doing good. I'm happy as shit for them. I'm happy as shit for everybody. I'm not a hater. Like, and I'll be honest, dude, Joe Pfeiffer, all these dudes, they've all been so nice to me. But dude, they're getting flooded with all these dick riders. I won't be that dude because like I'm sure it's fucking borderline inconvenient to them.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Imagine being like out of nowhere, like these kids, they became famous overnight. Like, I don't want to bother these fucking people.
Yeah.
I met Sean. I saw Sean O'Malley at ADCC Phoenix, and everybody was flooding him. This man just wanted to watch the matches. I was like, damn, I felt bad for him, honestly. Like, dude should have just threw a hood up and some sunglasses, but he's also a very noticeable person. But yeah, dude, it sucked, you know, like.
And like I said, dude, I'm not a hater, man. I'm so happy for these guys, dude. I love hearing these stories, dude. I love it, man. And fucking, you know, I fucking use it as examples for my son. I'm like, guys, look, like this kid struggled. But I feel like we live in a society where people think because you're Instagram friends or fucking on Facebook that like you're really friends. And I never want to give anybody that impression that I believe that I'm tight with these dudes, like,
Very
cause
cringy.
like I just like they're nice, man. They're awesome, and I fucking want their success. But like I meet dudes at work. They're like, oh, I train with Sean Brady. I'm like, so when? How? You fucking pour concrete, like, you know. But you know, everybody just wants to be involved and
Connected, right?
and like trust me, dude. Is it dope? It's so dope. It's like I'm so happy. Dude, when Paul got pulled up and Jonathan get pulled up and like, dude, I cry. Like, I'm so happy for these people. But like, I'm not tight with, like, I'm like, they're not like Jonathan's my, like, I fucking love Jonathan. Like, I'll fucking do anything for that guy. But that's the, like, a lot of these guys just pretend they're much closer to people than they are. And I just can't get behind that.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. Have you guys rolled with Sean Brady?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I swear to Christ, one time I was like, I saw a one-arm guillotine. I was like, there is fucking no way in hell I would ever tap to a one-arm guillotine. I don't give a fuck. The next time I saw Sean, he hit me with 5 in one round. I was like, well, that's quite the slice of humble pie.
I watched him roll with Craig Jones. I don't want any parts
Dude,
of
I
that.
swear to you, I said, Sean.
Was that,
Fury.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. I said, Sean, what am I doing wrong? I swear to you, he goes, dude, it's me. What do you expect? And I was like, it's a fucking solid answer. Because, like,
You did something with Daichi with that too. You're like, oh, what should I do? He was like, don't get there. Like,
yeah, just don't do that.
Don't do that. Like,
At different levels, man.
yeah.
And
is he the best guy I've ever rolled with? You think?
Sean?
Yeah, like who?
Well, dude, I mean, dude, honestly, Pat Sabatini, he's like, I swear to God, the best thing I heard describe Pat Sabatini is like, dude, you feel like you're abducted by an alien. He controls you, but he's not using any strength. You're not even tired. He's just like fucking manipulating your body, and like, you can't stop him. And doesn't seem like he's trying. And he's just
Even breaking a sweat.
and it's crazy. And I think I'm most impressed, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody else. I'm not Sean, I apologize. Pat impresses me the most because he's the smallest.
Yeah.
And I think that is why it's like I'm not saying he's any better than Sean or even Jonathan, because Jonathan, don't get it twisted, it's a fucking animal, dude. Just because he's in a coaching role, do not get it twisted. Jonathan's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Like, absolute beast. You know, he's just a coach. But for me, it was always just so impressive seeing Pat Sabatini, a guy my size, just fuck everybody up. So I would say that he's probably, in my personal, like, and that's, please don't take it as a disrespect to anyone else. Like, just because he's so small, I'm so impressed at how he can fight these bigger guys. Wow. It's the most amazing, and he does not seem to be trying.
Yeah. That's for me, that's Kevin Dantzler.
Dantzler
like,
too.
That dude, I've heard stories about him like giving Nicky Rod the business. You know what I mean? It's such a smaller human being that Kev is, you know, like that motherfucker. Nobody moves like him that I've rolled with personally.
No, they're special, man. Yeah. They're like special. Like I say it all the time, like, dude, if Pat ever decided he didn't want to do MMA, like, I believe that he could do the same damage on the Jiu Jitsu circuit. Yeah. Like, he's like that good, man. He really, I believe John could too. I believe a lot of these guys could. Dude, Joe Pfeiffer, not even known as a grappler, dude. He's a fucking phenomenal grappler. These people are fucking scary, bro. Man. These people that are known for, like, knocking people out and shit, like Joe, he will strangle you too.
Yeah, dude, if you're
like, these dudes are different.
If you're knocking somebody out in seconds, I don't want their arm around my throat.
Bro,
you know, like,
they're just different. Like, they're different. And it's why, like, dude, I've been fortunate enough to, like, be delusional enough to think that, like, I could do this. And, like, and you just see these young kids at that level. I'm talking MMA, dude. Like, they are special people. Yeah, they're like fucking cyborgs put on this earth to fight, dude. Like,
crazy. Rory McDonald started when he was
16
like
years old.
16,
dude.
yeah. Okay,
like, he had his first pro fight at 16. Like, I think Pat was fighting at 16, Sabatini.
Wow.
Like, but dude, did you ever meet Pat?
Never met him.
It's another reason I think he's the scariest human on earth. He's the nicest person you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Like, nicest, dude. One time he beat the fucking Christ out of me. I was wearing a army shirt. Excuse me. Beat the fucking shit out of me. Then was like, oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for your service. I was like, okay. Dude, this another time, dude. We had a party at my boy's house. Everybody leaves. All my friends are shitheads, scumbags. Fucking leave. Fucking trashed up. Pat Sabatini, UFC fighter, sticks around and cleans shit up. Like, he's just like different. You know, he's like fucking, and I think when you are that level, and like Jonovan and these guys, you see all these douchebags with the egos and all this, dude. Like, I believe once you get to that level of like real danger, you don't have to fucking, there's no more airs. There's no more posturing. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never see Jonovan or Pat fucking tell anybody they can fuck them up because they don't have to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking about earlier. It's like you have the skills now. You're just
so confident with it. Like, there's just
and it's why you just know. Like, you see these young fighters, dude, and they're doing good. They got 1 or 2 fights, and they're just telling you how good they are. And it's like, bro, listen, man, and listen, I suck shit as an MMA fighter. I don't care. But it's like,
there's levels.
You know why you don't see fucking, like, there's a reason that you don't see Jonovan Webb shadow boxing, like, in the middle of anywhere. Like, because it's fucking, he doesn't need anyone to know that he does this.
Yeah.
Joe Pfeiffer doesn't need the shadow box because everyone knows he can knock their fucking head off. You know what I mean? Like,
easily.
They don't need to have this, like, image or persona bullshit.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know.
It's very jiu-jitsu like too, like
you've
seen
exactly,
it, yeah.
Dude. Like, you don't need your fucking peacock feathers out. Nobody cares.
Like, you'll see it at no-gi, right? If they're not wearing like a ranked rash guard, you think, oh, but the way they move, you just know. You just know.
Dude, like that kid Casey.
Oh, good God.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
Casey
Malik?
Casey Malik?
Brown belt?
Brown belt over at Webb's.
I know him.
Dude, nice kid. One of the nicest kids I ever met in my life. Fucking terrifying. Like, dude, he's an animal. And I don't mean that. He's not a bad training partner. He's not a bad dude. He's a good dude. Cop, and he's a nice guy. He's just a fucking animal, dude. An explosive fucking animal at like 220, 230.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you do?
That's very like...
You know what I do? I get out of his fucking way.
Yeah. That's very like Max, right? Max over at Webb's. He was drilling a move. He taught at Endgame, and then I was like, hey, can we get around? Thinking like... I was delusional too, like thinking like maybe I could do something. Oh, dude, he fucked me up. He didn't even try. I swear to God, he was like texting somebody probably while he was like guillotining me left and right. It was just so awesome to like. I like that to see those levels. Like I want to get my ass beat like by everybody, kind of thing. I want to know what I gotta kind of do.
And that's a good kid, man.
Oh, dude,
He trail Max.
I don't think so now.
He's
brown belt now, right?
He's brown belt. He just took second at fucking Pans. He's good kid. Nice gentleman.
Him and Amanda.
But dude, you want to talk a talented young kid, man?
Yeah, I think if he just has endless potential, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way he's taught a couple times at EndGame, and man, he's good.
Yeah, he knows his shit. He's a smart kid, charismatic,
and he can control the room
too. Yeah, like, and dude, like, listen, I hold it like for me, end all be all, dude. How you treat my kid, fucking like, there's been times I go over to Webb's and I can't do anything because I'm an old piece of shit. My back's fucked up. But dude, that would like, I watched Max and Amanda like take my son like under their wing and like make sure he's okay. And like, dude, that's the shit that holds weight with me. Like these fucking kids are like killing it, and they don't have to fucking be they could be douchebags. Nobody cares. And you know, like they take their time to help out the kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're good people, man. Like that's what I like about this community. Look at like Joe Pfeiffer. And like I said, I'm not a dick rider at all. I do not know this man. Don't pretend that I do. And that's what I think is so cool about this. I'm at Webb's, and my kid, I like to get him pictures with like top tier fighters and guys. I get a picture, go to get a picture with Joe, and my phone dies. Like I'm habitually bad at letting my shit run on red, dude. My fucking gas tank is on E. Like I'm fucking that guy. So fucking my phone dies, dude. Joe Pfeiffer like takes a picture with his phone of my kid and then texts it to me. He didn't have to do any of that. So, like, to me, that's the shit that holds a lot of weight, dude. Like, people that fucking look at the kids and give a fuck about, like, that.
Yeah.
You know, it's real easy to be an asshole, man. And especially, like, I'm doing really good. Eyes are on me. Nobody's And, like, so when you see someone who's, like, quasi-famous and, like, doing their thing and they're cool to kids, they're the people that are good, man. Like, they're the people that, like, you know, like, fuck me. I don't give a shit about who's famous in my fucking cell phone. But if I see these guys that are like doing really well and they're still respectful as shit to the children and signing on, Pat Sabatini came to my gym, dude. Came to my gym, taught an MMA class, autographed a picture for each one of the kids in the class. Like, dude, that shit holds weight with me.
That's awesome.
Because
I love hearing shit like that.
Like that's what it's about, dude. He didn't have to do that shit. He don't owe me. Pat don't owe me a fucking thing, dude. He's just a good human being.
On a Monday night at 7 p.m.
You know, and same thing with Joe. Dude, know how many people, like, he could have fucking put his phone number, texted somebody, and like, dude, he could have been like, dude, I ain't texting you shit. Like, I don't know if you're going to stalk me, fanboy, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even bat an eye, dude. He sent me a picture of my kid. I deleted his number immediately because, like, I don't even want to be that dude. Because, like, I'm not going to be a dick rider and be like, hey, man, can I get an autograph or free pictures or fucking free tickets? Like, I'm not that dude. But I'll never forget that he did that for my kid. You know, that's the shit that holds a fucking ton of weight with me.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing shit.
Sean, too, man. Like I said, like, I've seen these guys around, dude, but I don't pretend that they're my friends. And, like, I'm cool with them and I've seen them. But, like, they're always so nice to, like, take a picture with my kid or with one of my students. And, dude, like, you don't see that shit in the NFL. You don't see that in a lot of other sports. And these top-tier guys are willing to care to the kids. And there's something to be said about that.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We'll finish this out here. We had a couple of questions here.
Right.
What app do you spend the most time on?
Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm Instagram.
Yeah, I'd probably say Instagram.
Yeah. Kevin said Flow Grappling.
Yeah, and that's why Kevin's much better.
Yeah.
I say it all the
checks
time,
out,
dude.
amazing.
Like, during the pandemic, I'll never forget. Like, I was in all these wine clubs and fucking doing all this shit. And every day, Kev would ask me if I wanted to train. And I'm like, what? It's like, that's why you're world class, buddy.
Yeah. That's so good. What's one thing on your bucket list that you have not done yet?
I want to.
I'm sorry, go.
It's random. I want to go to Egypt so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I want to travel. Like, I would love to see, like, the pyramids and all that shit. That's definitely something I got to do before I croak. So.
Man, we're very different. So it used to be Rome with the bulls, but then I found out that they killed a bull, and that fucked my head up.
That's
so
horrifying.
I
I
didn't do that.
Damn.
Didn't know
That
that.
like breaks my heart, so I don't want to do that anymore. But I want to run a marathon. I never did it. I love running. I used to run all the time. My knees started to fuck up. But yeah, if I could do a full marathon, I feel like that'd be like a super cool accomplishment for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. My buddy just ran the New York City marathon, I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
You're
sick.
A runner though too, right?
I did a half marathon.
I've done a half. I've done the Army 10 miler. I've done halves. I want to do a full.
Yeah. You can get into the Philadelphia marathon. You can pretty much sign up for.
Yeah.
The New York one is like the
You gotta
biggest
like
one
qualify
in
and
the world.
like.
You can
Jesus.
qualify, or you can join with a charity. I just learned this. You can pretty much raise like $3,000 or something
I am not a runner.
and go that way. But
I love it, man.
I can't do it.
3 more here. If you could hang out with anyone for a day, living or dead, who would it be? Oh fuck. You can't say your wife.
No, trust me, I wasn't going to. No, I love my wife, but no.
Fucking hilarious.
Alive or dead? I feel like it's got to be like someone from the
Alive or
past.
dead.
I go Jesus. That's
You
just
know,
me.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to like. I didn't want to bring up that because I that's who I would, because I gotta know. I gotta know everything.
What if he
Gotta know.
wasn't there? What if I think Joe Rogan said this? He asked like the same question, and somebody, I think it was like Kid Rock, said Jesus, and Joe Rogan was like, well, what if it's all fake? What if he wasn't there?
That's what I need to know. That's
Good information to know.
I mean, you guys are like way deeper than me. I'm like, I don't know, Chuck Norris. Fucking no, fuck. You guys said Jesus. I need a minute. Yeah, I don't really give a shit, man. I'm already like, I don't give a shit about people.
0 fucks given.
Yeah, like I don't.
Gotta be somebody
Yeah.
from the past, especially.
I feel like it has to be from the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would always run into somebody here and there. Moses.
No, I don't care about that, dude.
Noah and his ark. I gotta know if the ark is real.
I don't know.
If they built the ark.
Fucking Jack Ruby, I guess. I don't know. See if he did it.
See if he did. That's a good one.
Jack Ruby, who did he kill?
JFK. Or no, he
No,
killed
no.
Lee Harvey.
He could leave.
No, I'm sorry. I'd like the Lee Harvey then, not
To
Jack
see
Ruby.
if he did the.
if he
Yeah,
did.
that's a good one. That's a good one. I go
Lee
deep
Harvey.
into that JFK.
Jack Ruby
deep.
definitely did it.
Yeah, Jack Ruby.
definitely did
But was
it.
Jack Ruby like a CIA plant?
Yeah, I would
You
like
know what I mean? We're both them
killed
CIA.
Lee Harvey.
Yeah.
Shot Lee Harvey in the stomach.
Okay.
On like the news, he was like
Yeah,
walking
like
out the
in front of
courthouse.
people and
yeah,
shit.
just walked
Yeah.
up, bam.
Yeah. So yeah, Lee Harvey.
Yeah, that's a good one. Did he
Do
from
you
the?
think he did kill JFK?
I believe that he probably was involved, but I also believe that Lyndon Baines Johnson was probably involved, and I
Yeah.
believe that fucking
The
Jack
CIA
Ruby was
was?
probably already involved. And I mean, the dude had terminal cancer, shoots this guy, and then dies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I need to know.
I'm a big conspiracy guy. I love conspiracy
know.
theorists. So there's definitely like all the things they say, like very hard to make that shot.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't fucking know if that's true or not. But when if you're assassinating a president, like there's got to be more than one person involved. I feel like
Yeah.
You're also talking a different time, man.
different time. You're right. You're
Different
right.
time.
So,
Wow.
But
answer right there.
I would love that car.
I think I'd have to put a roof over it, but
But yeah, I don't know. That'd be a cool thing to get to the bottom of, you know?
That's a good answer. I like that. Who's your biggest role model?
I guess it would probably be like,
I'm asking you deep questions.
that's a deep one. Yeah,
yeah,
it's weird because like as I've grown up, like I've had different role models. You know what I mean? Like definitely people that I look up to in different aspects of life. Like, so that's a very hard one to answer. I'd say like my mom was like a single mother who did whatever she could to do things. So there's a lot of respect there. But every different aspect of life, there's a role model or somebody that I kind of like look to, like, man, that motherfucker's doing such good shit. Like, I got to kind of take that route and figure out how to do things as well. So,
I'm going to, for me, it's simple. I'm going to go with Tim Armstrong or Fat Mike just because, like, they never fuck. I mean, they're two guys that, like, stuck to their roots. I don't know if you know who they are, like lead singer Rancid, lead singer NoFX. But it's like they stuck to their roots. They fucking were loyal to like their beliefs and their like genre and everything. And they never bent, they never did it anybody else's way. And they fucking took it to the top. Like they got as rich and successful and famous without ever doing it someone else's way. Like, you know, fucking Tim Armstrong, dude, fucking, you know, had a mohawk how long and fucking, you know, his head, like, I don't know, man. Like, to me, like, there's a lot to be said about someone who can manage and find a way to be successful as can be, sticking to their roots and still enjoying life without having to, like, give in to, like, society standards.
Yeah.
And that's fucking awesome to me.
Wow. You grew up on those guys?
Dude, I was like, that was life growing up, man. Like, yeah. So, like, to me, and it's cool because, like, you see them now and, like, you know, you see these guys and they're just fucking infinitely successful. But Fat Mike's still wearing fucking a woman's dress and he's got blue hair. And Tim Armstrong's got a spider web tattooed on his head. And, like, but they're, like, infinitely successful because they never gave up. They stuck to what they believed in. And, you know, there's a lot to be said about it. And I have the utmost appreciation, man, especially because, like, the way I run EndGame, man, you know, Sean being one of my best friends and, you know, Laurie, like, and my wife, I talk about all the time, man. Like, sometimes, like, I'm just, because I run my gym very different. You've seen it. You know, sometimes I'm like, dude, fuck it, man. Fuck it, dude. I'm just going to make some fucking money. And it's like, no, dude, you can't. Like, you can't. You got to do it your way. You have to do it your way or bust. And so, yeah, no, I hold a lot of weight with that because they fucking broke barriers, dude. They fucking stuck to their guns. They never gave in, and they become as successful as you fucking can be. And, you know, I go back and forth, man. Like, cause dude, you know, you've seen my classes. Like, I curse and shit. Like, I fucking play death metal and punk rock and fucking shit that people, and I always think, like, man, maybe I should change it. Maybe I should play top 40. Maybe I should be some fucking, you know, cardio kickboxing coach and fucking just make some fucking money. But then it's like, no, dude, like, you can't give in. Like, you have to fucking do it your way. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy anyway. Yeah. And that is what it's about. And
yeah, you've clearly done it your way.
Yeah, dude, you fucking, you know, go in, you know, go hard. That's it, man. And hope for the best, but expect the worst.
That's the best saying, though.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
a great saying.
But, and honestly, every now and again, I'll teeter on it. But, you know, fortunately for guys like Tim Armstrong, for me to look up to, and Fat Mike and my close friends that, like, it's like, yeah, dude, it sucks sometimes. It sucks doing it your way because not everybody's going to fall in line. Not that I want anyone to fall in line. Not everyone's going to be on board, I guess, would be the proper saying. Yeah. But, you know, you got to stick to your fucking guns, man. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable anyway. Yeah. So you got to fucking do it your way.
Fucking awesome. Really good stuff. I love it. Question 11 here. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to just be remembered as a good parent. Like, I want my kids to be like, yo, my dad was badass, or he was there for us. Yeah. You know, he was always there, always at every fucking event. You know, he supported us. I was talking about it to somebody earlier, man, like, growing up and not having certain things or being, like, I try to make sure that my kids do. It drives people crazy, but, like, if Aiden wants a toy at Target, fuck it, like, let's get the toy, dude. I know what it, like, I remember not being able to do little things like that. So, like, as a parent, I feel like you always want your kids to do better than you did. So that is my ultimate, like, that's it. It's all I care about is my kids having a successful life. And that's it, man. That would be the best thing ever for me. If they didn't have to, like, grow up in similar situations or do the things that I did or anything like that, that's my only goal in life, is to make sure that they are prepared for life and taken care of when I no longer cease to exist.
That's your end game.
Yes.
You whip that out. That answer, like,
that's all, dude. That's all I
aligned. Like,
I care very.
You know what I mean?
They are the most important things to me. You know, or people to me. So, dude, they're funny. I love them to death. They're the quirkiest, weirdest people on this planet, but I love them to death, man. They're awesome. So
that's awesome. I don't have kids yet, but I'm sure that'll be.
Oh, it's cool, dude.
It's the best thing in the world,
dude. And it's crazy, man. Like, I had my daughter, and I swear to you, dude, like, my wife was like, I never wanted any kids, any at all. And I was very vocal, but I met my wife, I fell in love with her, and she was like, if you don't want kids, like, I can't be with you. I was like, well, that sucks. But fortunately for us, that my irresponsible ass like got her pregnant anyway, so it didn't matter. But man, I tell you, like, and then I had this kid, and she was the most amazing fucking creature on the earth, and like I loved her. I was obsessed, dude. And then Amory was like, I want another kid. I was like, I don't want another kid. I'm not gonna like it. Yeah. I'm not gonna love it like I love this thing. Like it's. But then like this little dude came, and dude, shit's different, man. Like just it's crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me having kids, like, cause I didn't want it, did not want it, didn't care for it. Kids annoyed me. Like I was like, but man, it's just it's crazy.
I'll text my friend sometimes, like, cause she's got kids too, and I'm like, yo, like, why are we parents? Like, how did this happen? Like, you remember back at the bar when, you know, we were taking fucking trash cans and double fisting trash cans, and now I'm watching my two kids fight each other. Like it's a weird progression, you know. So
I'm looking forward to that.
It's fun, man.
You want
Few
kids?
years away. Yeah.
It's cool, man.
It's cool.
A few years away.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't even remember what the original question was.
How do you want to be remembered?
Oh man, now I sound like a shitty dad. No, honestly, dude, and I know this is like the most white trash and fucking stupid answer, but like I will not be remembered as anything other than a guy who like just did it his way. Like I didn't take shit, just did it my way. I don't care if I fail. I don't care. I can't give in. Like I got to do it my way.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy and stupid, and it's probably fiscally the most irresponsible answer, but I just I don't know, man. All in or bust. I gotta be.
All or nothing.
That's it.
Such a good message. Such a good message.
I tell my kids all the time, man. I tell everyone, like, and then listen, and I argue, and people argue me, and people will tell me it's the craziest response, but like, dude, growing up, I was always told, got to go to college, got to do this, I tell my kids all the time, like, fuck money, man. Chase your passion. Mm-hmm. Because, like, when I was growing up, dude, like, it was like, stop playing football. You're not going to play football. You're never going to be in the NFL. You're wasting your time. There's infinite jobs in the NFL.
Yeah.
Infinite. Like, you could be a cameraman. You could fucking, dude, you could fucking sod. You could fucking, or not sod, I don't fucking know, but you can
chase that
infinite
flag.
jobs.
I don't know what that is.
But if you chase your passion, like, dude, you may not be the kid who runs the fucking game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl, but you could fucking be the guy that fucking changes the lights at the fucking link. Like, if you have passion for something, chase it. And you'll at least work in the atmosphere in which you love. And I know people are like, say like, oh yeah, well, changing lights, that's really good. But you know what, dude? I tie rebar for a living. It fucking sucks. I make a good living, but it fucking sucks. I'd much rather fucking lay out mats at a Jiu Jitsu tournament or fucking have my hand doing something like that. Yeah. And that's why I rolled the dice on myself, and now I own my own gym. But if you chase your passion, man, you're going to get good at something. And when you get good at something, money follows, you know, and you get these, like, we're just programmed, go to college, fucking get this fucking, you know, fucking desk job. And dude, I'm not shitting on anybody. Dude, do it. If that's your jam, do it.
I have a desk job.
And that's cool. That's cool, man. And I don't hate on that.
No, I'm fucking.
I don't hate on that. But for my kids, man, I want them to feel fulfilled and passion. And my daughter will tell you straight up, she doesn't give a shit about anything but money. She's 13 years old, and she said, no, Dad, I'm going to college, and I want to be an engineer because they get paid. I'm like, okay. But my son wants to have, my son is, he's only 9, but like, he'll tell you right now, like, I don't want a real job. I want to do stuff related to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. And it's possible.
And it's 100% possible.
Yeah.
And even if he can't, like, look at Professor J, dude. That dude's like, you want to talk about, all right, you want to talk about real life role model? Professor J. That dude goes around, does commentary. He fucking, like, that is, like, to me, like, an amazing, like, guy who has come up to an art that he's obsessed with and loves and has found a way, and through his passion and knowledge and desire to learn more, has found a way to make it lucrative. That's the dream, dude.
The piggyback off that about him, too.
And
that dude still takes us, and he's taking his son to every wrestling event, WWE wrestling event, like that's local. You know what I mean? So you're right. Like, he's doing the whole thing. Like,
and listen, I'm not
very down to earth.
So it's a very uncomfortable question for me because obviously Jonathan, who's my professor, is a role model to me, and all these guys. Like, but you know, like the commentary is the one thing. Like for me, that is my next professional step that I would like to take. Whether it be play-by-play or color commentary, like I would like to be involved in something to do with commentary with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. So to see Professor J doing this amazing job at that, it really like is cool to see.
Wow. Yeah. Such a good message. Awesome, dude. Well, we'll wrap it there. I think these cameras might overheat. But if you're looking to get into jiu-jitsu, there's plenty of good gyms out there, and I can personally attest EndGame is right up there and the top of the food chain. So
Nick will be there this Saturday.
yeah, got me there. Tell the audience where they can find you guys and EndGame on social media.
That's all you.
EndGame BJJ on Instagram.
Here's your camera.
EndGame BJJ on Instagram. Facebook, just look it up. And you do the address and shit.
2041 South Black Horse Pike, Williamstown, New Jersey 08094.
Classes every day, every night.
EndGameBJJ.com.
Bang. Commercial. Dude, that's good stuff.
Appreciate it, man.
Good stuff, fellas.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again.